Hey, what's up, guys? So, episode number 15 here on Ask EJ. All right, 3 questions, hit it.
First one comes from Matt from Bark River, Michigan. I just got a Glock 30 for my everyday carry gun. I have been using a Glock 19. What mods, if any, do you think I should get?
What's his name?
Matt.
Matt. So, Matt, you went from a 19 to a 30. So you went from medium 9 to small 45. All right. Why did you go to the 45 from a 9? And then you went to a smaller gun in a 45. I would imagine that your accuracy would decrease from medium 9 to a small 45. I mean, you could have stayed in the 9mm and gone with the 26, and then your 19 mags could have fed the 26 for a reload, but you changed calibers. So, okay, that's fine. Did you do it just because you wanted a 45? I don't know, that's kind of weird. You would go from a medium 9 to a small 45. Okay, so no judgment. What mods? Well, on a Glock, I definitely changed the sights. But I'm sure you're going to do that anyway. I wouldn't mod anything to it. Honestly, I don't know that I would mod. I don't mod mine. I just put excess big dot sights on it, and I Cerakoted it, or I didn't. I paid someone to Cerakote it, but that's not really a mod. I don't know. I wouldn't mod anything. But I would love to see you shoot a course of fire with that 19 and then run it with a 30 and see the delta in your accuracy. Because first of all, having a gun is the ultimate thing, but then making accurate shots on target is more important than the actual gun itself. So make sure you can shoot that thing accurately if you're going to make it your EDC, because your life will depend on it. Okay, next question.
Next question comes from Rusty out of South Haven, Mississippi.
Oh, South Haven, Mississippi. That's our next door neighbor.
Yep.
Rusty.
Also known as 80 pounds of anger. That's what he says.
I might know Rusty. If he's a fireman, I know him.
Okay.
I know a Rusty fireman from South Haven, Mississippi.
Well, there you go. His question, what are your thoughts on the Kel-Tek KSG shotgun? As for home defense, being that it can hold 24 mini shells, bird buck slugs.
The Kel-Tek KSG, I've had them come through class. I haven't had one make it through class without some semblance of a catastrophic failure. I would want it to work because it looks pretty cool. It looks like a Call of Duty gun, but massive heartache in keeping that gun up and running throughout the class. That's been my experience. And maybe we've had 3 or 4, maybe 4 or 5 come through class, and none of them have worked right. But that could be just the luck of the draw. I mean, I could have Kel-Tek's 4 or 5 that are never going to work right, and everyone else is a rock star. But it's been my experience that they end up getting tossed, and I have to loan out my 870. Here, run this so you can at least do the drills. Yeah, that's been my experience. That they have not made it through class yet. A lot of problems. And it's like problems, not just like one thing. they didn't feed right. It couldn't switch over to the other side. The trigger got stuck. Um, the breech is all locked up. So it's a myriad of different things that went wrong with it. But I wanted them to work because they look cool. You know, if it would shoot fire out, that would be awesome. Like a plasma ray blaster, that would be awesome. But that's been my experience. So, all right.
Last question comes from Eddie out of Orangeburg, South Carolina. What are the pros and cons of releasing the slide by hand or using the slide release on reloads?
Okay. Pretty simple here. The slide release works pretty well in a static environment, no stress. When we're talking about using the thumb to hit that slide release, it takes a lot of, fine motor skills to do that. So what happens under stress is we lose the ability and we end up being able to only do this. So you'll hear the term caveman hands, flippers, whatever the flavor of the week is to describe this motion. But it's a gross motor skill. So when we're trying to, under stress, use the tip of the thumb to find this small little area and then make that thumb perform a skill, i.e. pushing down on it, under stress that tends to look a lot like a horrible abomination. Hands over, grip, and hit yourself in the chest. Gross motor skill works every time. So that's kind of where we're at with that. You can use the extended slide release and it may work better for you. However, I have seen a lot of times where the grips, especially under stress, actually cause that slide release to be held down, and so the slide doesn't lock back. And so you think you're still got bullets, you go to click and nothing happens, and you go, oh, what happened? Oh, I'm out of bullets. How did that happen? This must be a bad magazine. And it was really the pad here of your hand sitting up on top of that and holding it down, and you didn't realize it. So I tend to stay away from the extended slide release for that reason alone, because I like to get a high grip on it. It may work for you, but I try never to use the slide release with my thumb, because whatever I do in training, that repetitive motion is training me to do that, or at least attempt to do that under stress. So I want to use the hand over, utilizing a gross motor skill, which I can use under stress, vice fine motor skill, which I tend not to be able to use under stress. Mimic your training like the fight would have you use your gun. That's what I would tell you. Good question, though. All right, that's 3, right?
That's it.
All right, cool. All right. Well, those are good questions. So keep those type of questions coming. Those are good. I like those. If you guys are looking for a belt and holster package, check out our signature series through Crossbreed Holsters. I got my gun belt here with an Aries buckle and the Second Amendment support logo put in there, and then it's stamped on the belt, pocket mag holster, as well as the real deal holster. Like some people say, well, what does this mean? So here, I'll explain to you real quick. If you look at the thin blue line from law enforcement, the black with the blue line through the middle of it, right? This is like the Second Amendment support version of that. So instead of having a solid line, we have 2 black lines above and below, symbolizing the rights expressed in the Second Amendment to keep and to bear, and then the 2 obviously represents the Second Amendment. So it's kind of like our way of supporting the Second Amendment in the same vein of the thin blue line. A lot better than the keep honking, I'm reloading stickers that you see. So that's what that means, by the way. Also here on my shirt. All right, don't forget to check out the Instagram. Appreciate you guys following over there. Facebook, as always. Snapchat, and the radio show. You can get that on iTunes or Google Play. All right, keep those good questions coming. We'll see you next time. As always, stay alert, practice often.